Hey folks, I had an idea. We're playing Football Manager 26. Well, I wondered, would it be possible to win the league title with the 26th ranked team in the world, with a 26-man squad of 26-year-olds? Well, I thought it sounded like a fun idea, so I gave it a shot, and this is what happened. Welcome to Tottenham Hotspur, the 26th best team in the world, according to the in-game world rankings at the time of playing. Now, to begin this challenge, my first job was to clear the club of any player who either wasn't 26 at the start of the season or wouldn't turn 26 before the start of next season. I quickly realised this was a terrible idea, as the reserves and under 18s each had dozens of players, so I had to change the plan slightly to allow anyone aged 21 and under to stay at the club unless someone happened to come in and want to buy them. They still wouldn't play for the first team though, that remained exclusive to the 26 club. My planned exodus led to the release or sale of a total of 58 players for £1.5 billion, including £112 million for Dejan Kulusevski, £88 million for Javi Simons, and £73 million for Mickey van der Ven. Out of the whole club, the only player I kept to be part of the first team squad was Brandon Austin, to be a backup goalkeeper, meaning I needed another 25 players. Diogo Costa was brought in for £65 million to be the first choice goalkeeper, with Victor Johansson coming in as an additional backup. Leonardo Balerdi and Danny Vivian were signed for a combined £107 million to be my starting centre-back pairing, while Ferdy Kadiolu and Weston McKennie took the wing-back positions for £30 million and £20 million respectively. Later on, after his injury was healed, Takahiro Tomiyasu was also brought in on a free transfer to provide competition in the wing-back positions. Our midfield spine cost a total of £157 million. Morten Hjulmand took the central defensive midfielder spot, with Yusuf Fofana in central midfield and Mason Mount as the central attacking midfielder behind a lone striker. Justin Kluivert and Trincao took the left and right wing positions as inside forwards, whilst finally Vangelis Pavlidis joined us to be our first choice striker, costing us £139 million for our attacking outlet, bringing the combined total for our first team to £518 million. Another £255 million later, and my team of 26-year-olds playing for the 26th best team in the world was ready to take on the Premier League. Well, things did not start brilliantly, with us losing our first 3 pre-season friendlies in a row, only scoring twice and conceding 6. But August saw things start to turn a corner, kicking off the season proper with the 3-2 victory over PSG in the UEFA Super Cup. I saw Pavlidis score twice and pick up the Player of the Match award. This also means I get to add a new trophy to my Meta Challenge collection. Things continued perfectly as we moved into the domestic campaign with 4 league wins in a row, including a nice 3-2 victory over Man City at the Etihad, where Pavlidis picked up another brace and another Player of the Match award. There was also a 3-2 London derby victory over West Ham, where, despite conceding twice, Diogo Costa's 9 saves earned him a Player of the Match award with an 8.1 rating. Pavlidis picked up another goal as well, putting him on 4 league goals in 4 games, and putting him second in the scoring charts, behind Trincao, who had a brace of his own in the opening game of the season before scoring 1 goal in every game after that, putting him on 5 league goals. Our Champions League campaign started strongly with 4-2 away win over Benfica at Estadio da Luz, with Pavlidis, Trincao, Weston McKennie and Justin Kluivert all getting on the score sheet. Unfortunately, this was followed by our first loss of the season at the Amex Stadium, where, despite Morten Hjulmand scoring in the first minute of the game, a goal each from Lewis Duncan and Jan-Paul van Heck saw Brighton run out the victors. But this proved to be a blessing in disguise, as my boys responded with strength and conviction, going on an absolute tear, winning 14 games in a row in all competitions, including a dramatic penalty shootout victory over Man City in the Carabao Cup after a 3-3 draw in normal time, and 3 fantastic results in the Champions League: a 5-2 thrashing of Union SG, a close run 4-3 victory over Inter Milan, and a 6-2 demolition of Olympiacos, where Ferdy Kadiolu picked up a Player of the Match for his hat-trick of goal involvements, 2 assists and a goal for himself. Our winning streak was brought to a thunderous halt at the beginning of December when we lost 3-2 to Newcastle at St James's Park, only the second time we dropped points in the league this season. But once again, my boys bounced back immediately, this time with an astonishing 9-0 annihilation of Brentford at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, with Mason Mount bagging himself a hat-trick. After this, we went unbeaten in all competitions until the middle of March, only dropping points against Liverpool and Manchester United in the Premiership, and Barcelona in our final Champions League stage match. That saw us move to the knockout stages in first place on goal difference over Real Madrid. Our third league loss of the season, a 6-4 humiliation at Anfield, was sandwiched by our Champions League round of 16 tie against Inter Milan that started with a dramatic 4-4 draw at the San Siro after a rare mistake from Danny Vivian gifted Ian Nerazzurri with an equaliser 5 minutes from time. Fortunately, the loss to Liverpool once again fired up my boys, and we put 5 past Inter in the second leg to progress to the quarter-finals 9-4 in aggregate, with Danny Vivian making up for his previous mistake by opening the scoring after 43 minutes. Hot on the heels of our victory in the round of 16, we faced Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup final, coming away 1-0 winners thanks to a 77th minute goal from Randall Colomwani, adding a second trophy for the season and another unique one for the Meta Challenge. We continued winning throughout April, taking maximum points from both of our Premier League games, as well as making the FA Cup final after knocking out Arsenal on penalties and reaching the Champions League semi-finals after beating Monaco 8-2 on aggregate. Could an outrageous quintuple be on the cards? Well, it certainly seemed like it. Despite losing 1-0 to Real Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League semi-finals and dropping points in the league to Aston Villa and Wolves, we ended up winning the Premier League at a canter, a massive 22 points ahead of second place Aston Villa, making it 3 trophies for the season, adding 1 more new one to the Meta Challenge, and successfully completing the challenge of this video. But wait, what about the FA Cup final and Champions League second leg against Real Madrid? I hear you all pleading through space and time. Well, we clawed Real back with a 3-2 victory at home, taking us to penalties, where I was certain we would prevail. After all, we had won both our previous penalty shootouts this season quite comprehensively, so surely another one was a foregone conclusion. Well, a win is what we wanted, and a win we did not get, as Real Madrid beat us 3-2 on penalties, knocking us out of the Champions League at the semi-final stage. I was gutted, especially as they went on to face Arsenal in the final, and we were 3-0 up, being head-to-head against our fierce rivals this season. So I had every reason to believe we would have beaten them. Thankfully, Los Blancos managed to do the job for us, winning the final 3-2 in the Puskas Arena. Then finally, there was our own cup final, the FA Cup, our second cup final of the season, and this time we faced the ultimate test, Manchester City. Except it wasn't. We thrashed them 5-0, with a brace from Pavlidis and a player of the match performance from Tomiyasu, who picked up a hat-trick of goal involvements with 2 assists and a goal of his own. This marked our 4th victory out of 4 of Man City this season, and also ensured we completed a domestic treble, a quadruple for the season, counting the UEFA Super Cup, and adding yet another new trophy to the Meta Challenge list. In case you were wondering, Vangelis ended the season with 31 goals in 54 games, with 20 being in the Premier League. Trincao ended up with 24 in 47, 16 of which were in the league. Surprisingly, he wasn't our second highest goalscorer this season. Mason Mount was, with 25 goals in 51 games. 13 of them were in the league. I think, to the surprise of no one though, despite them only finishing 7th in the league, Man City's Erling Haaland was top goalscorer with 27. And so there we have it. In one season, it was in fact rather easy to win the league with the 26th best team in the world, with a 26-man squad of 26-year-olds, adding 4 new trophies to the Meta Challenge in the process. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, please go ahead and give the appropriate buttons down below a pokey poke. I don't think I actually need to tell you which ones, you should know by now. Now, it is time for me to go, so I hate to love you and leave you, so I'm just going to leave you. Bye-bye!